Since joining the Entrepreneurs House community, I can comfortably attribute at least $230,000 in additional top line revenue to our business just from the connections that I've made in this group in the first 6 months. My name is Cory. I'm the founder and CEO at RepairLift. We're a marketing agency. We serve electronic repair businesses and other consumer repair businesses with digital infrastructure, lead management, and AI solutions. You guys have done a really good job of setting the bar high for the requirements to join the community. And I think that's really good. I go to a lot of these events and you'll find such a wide range of people, from people maybe just starting their business or just even thinking about a business, up to somebody who's maybe running an enterprise or mid-market company, right? And the challenge with that is you don't really get to spend time giving a lot of specific value or getting a lot of specific value. So I find when I come to these events, I'm meeting people who have either just solved the problem that I'm trying to solve, and they can actually give me not just an overview of how to do it, but like a step-by-step of like, hey, this is exactly how I did. And then the same vice versa. I'm able to meet with people who maybe haven't figured out some of the things that we've learned, and I'm able to share that to them and kind of pass that on. So, that's been really helpful for my business, because I'm finding specific solutions to specific problems that is otherwise going to be trial and error, or is going to be, difficult to find a source, of good information. Because there's been so many things that have impacted us. I was able to meet with a guy. I met a guy at one of your events. Then we went out, we met for a one-on-one coffee, and, he happened to also be in the, services company, much bigger than mine. He was already doing M&As, and he'd already ironed out a lot of things. And he helped me, define a huge hole in the business, which is what he defined as infant churn. So customers that you churn in your first 90 days. Okay, before that, we'd obviously track churn, but we never really looked at it that specifically. When you're dealing with SMBs, of course, you're gonna have churn rate. Ours was always somewhere between like 10 to 15%. So since learning that, and the next thing that I'm gonna mention, we've reduced our churn rate anywhere from 2.5% to 5%. So that's like a 3X. And we're talking about customers whose lifetime value can be 60, 90,000 for our long-term customers. So if you put it that way, it's hard to put a specific number to it, but that should net us at least another $150,000 to $200,000, over the next 12 months. Okay, I met another guy who I was able to actually hire to come in and help us rebuild our operational system, which was the other factor that reduced churn. So yeah, combined between those two relationships, I would say, at least $150,000 to $200,000 in top line revenue. Okay, so I also met another gentleman at one of the hot tub sauna events, and he was in the lead brokering industry. So where we're doing a done-for-you marketing service that includes lead generation, he was actually just buying and selling leads, which has always been really attractive to me. He happened to have a good source of solar leads. I happened to have a client who also had a solar business, and we were able to make that connection. And right off the bat, that was a $30,000 a month deal. Of course, we're still getting, set up on that deal, but right out of the gate, that's 30 grand just by literally meeting someone who had something that I knew somebody else needed and brokering that deal. Another thing that I really like about this community is the virtual events. Okay, a lot of the times I'm in this country or I'm somewhere else, I'm not able to attend the in-person events, but I really do like the virtual events, obviously because I can attend them at any time, but also because the quality of the speakers is usually fantastic. I met with one of the speakers, Bob, after his presentation that he did, and he gave me some very specific advice around hiring, which was very, very impactful for us. One of the biggest holes in a marketing agency is like client success and fulfillment. You need really strong talent in that department to be able to, maximize the lifetime value of your customers. So our client success team is largely based out of Colombia, and I had a hard time finding people who had really good English, who understood marketing, and who we were gonna hire as part of our offshore, nearshore team. And he gave me a process that allowed me to, more of a mindset shift that allowed me to, as he called it, line up my bench with talent. So when you need some talent, you need somebody to work, you already know who you're going to, and you're not just trying to grab what's available, you're grabbing the best of what you can get. And so again, that's another big reason as to why our churn rate has gone from, as high as 15% some months to anywhere from 2.5% to 5%. Since joining the Entrepreneurs House community, I can comfortably attribute at least $230,000 in additional top line revenue to our business just from the connections that I've made in this group in the first 6 months. The people that I've met in this group, their businesses have, definitely been a minimum of 7 figures a year. I met a gentleman who was the COO of a multi-billion-dollar company. I have met a number of 10-figure entrepreneurs, people with really large teams. I've met some serial entrepreneurs, people who have figured out how to run like a lot of businesses at the same time. So what do I love about the community? There's a few things I love. Of course, the focused group, the people, the network of what makes up the community is great. I like how there's a mix of in-person and virtual events so that when I'm not in the country, I can see these events. And I like how it's kind of low pressure. Like if I don't show up, like nobody's like, harassing me like, hey, you got to show up, like some of the other groups that I've been a part of. So I like how there's like flexibility there. And also the variety of the experiences. Like you guys got, the sauna nights, which is great. That's health focused. You got the virtual expert sessions, which is really, really fantastic. And then there's also all the way to like couples things as well, where you can, bring your significant other and stuff like that. You're the type of person who really wants to go to the next level in your business. I think that you should join this group. Of course, people are going to be at different points when they start, but like if you meet the criteria and you want to grow your business, this group will certainly help you get there. Just do it, just join the group.